Need to do two things, y'all. I need to smoke this cigar, and I need to tell you about a song that I've got coming up called Golden Hour. This song right here represents a turning of a chapter in my book, this songwriting journey that I'm on. Golden Hour is it's kind of a grunge inspired song. You know, I grew up in the grunge era, you know, like my late middle school, throughout my high school years were, you know, the prime time for grunge music. Now, is it a grunge song? Not really. Is it a fusion? Yeah, it is. It's a fusion of grunge and country. And I'll tell you a little bit about Golden Hour and what the meaning of it is, if you just hang on for a second. This cigar right here is a vintage, aged 12 years in a barrel, in a bourbon barrel. It's made, it's a Nicaraguan Tabacalera Perdomo. It's a Perdomo. This is it's my favorite brand of cigar. Perdomo 10-year champagne is my favorite go-to cigar. It's reasonably priced. It's a very high quality cigar from a great family. This was I've used this several times on the show. This is a gift from my good buddy Daniel Kane, and I'm gonna slowly roast the end of this cigar. I'll talk about a little bit of this song. Golden Hour is a song that's going to be coming out on September the 12th. Why did I choose that date? There is a reference to a falling tower in the song. Falling tower, we know what that is. September 11th. September 11th represented a lot. It was one of those moments where everything changed. In an instant. Very quickly, it changed. I've also lived through the lockdown. That was another moment where everything changed pretty damn quickly. And around that time, there was a lot of changes personally that I was having. There was a lot of things that I was going through in my family and in my religion and things like that. And if you're a fan of this show, I've talked a little bit about all that. This song right here, there's a little bit of glimpses into that world. It's a little bit of a glimpse into my personal life, and I know y'all can relate to it because it's things that you've gone through too. Whether you are whether you're a kid watching this video, whether you're an old person watching this video, or a middle-aged person like me, you've all gone through things that change very rapidly. You go through things that change in an instant of time. Some things are slow growing, and there's a catalyst that happens where all of a sudden, boom, your world changes. The reason I call it Golden Hour, I came out one morning, I was sitting on my front porch, and I was sipping on some coffee and realized there's two golden hours in a day. There's one in the morning at sunrise when the sky's a certain color and you get that atmosphere and that feeling. And there's one in the evening right before sunset, and it's just a beautiful moment where the atmosphere is changing, the humidity changes, the lighting in the sky changes, and just a beautiful time to be alive. And these are meditative moments for me in the morning and the evening. But I came out on my front porch one morning, I was sipping on some coffee and was thinking about that golden hour, and started, backtracking in my memory bank. Some of those moments to change. The opening of the song The opening line. Got a lot of motorcycles out and about today. The opening line is, to cook for one is harder than you think. So, to cook for one is harder than you think. There's a lot to be said in that, and I've been in that situation multiple times in my life. You burn the food and you eat it anyway. Kitchen window lets the smoke escape. My mistakes weren't on the recipe. So what am I trying to say there? There's many times where you think you're following the recipe, and you're going to make mistakes in life. You're going to really mess things up, and you eat it anyway. Sometimes those lessons, you end up in a situation where you're alone, and I've been there. I've experienced it. I've endured it, and now thank God I'm not in that situation anymore. But I have gone through it, and I understand what that feeling is. You're gonna hear some of that in that song, in the chorus and the second verse. I don't want to give like too much away, but I do want you to check the song out. Again, it's going to be on September the 12th, the day after 9/11, September 11th. Look for that song. If you got some playlists, if you're coming across this on TikTok, if you're coming across this on YouTube, on my channel, Falling Forward on YouTube, please give this a like. Subscribe, give it a follow, whatever the platform requires. But this cigar right here, aged 12 years, and it was barrel aged. Normally you hear a barrel aged coinage referring to bourbon. So barrel aged for a certain amount of time. This is a barrel aged cigar. So this cigar the tobacco was put into a retired bourbon barrel, an empty retired bourbon barrel, and allowed to age. Now, do I taste some bourbon in there? I don't. But you know what I do taste is that charred oak. I taste a little bit of that charred oak. I taste there's a slight sweetness to this, a tobacco kind of flavor. Of course, because it's tobacco. What I meant to say was leather. It's a sort of like a leather, and I'm talking about, like, if you imagine chewing on leather, it's not going to be good, is it? But have you been in a nice car, a very expensive car? Maybe it has some. Maybe it's an Italian sports car, and it has very plush leather, soft leather, buttery seats, and you slip into them. That's the kind of leather I'm talking about when you smoke one of these Perdomos. 12 years. I can't even imagine what I was doing 12 years ago. Let's see. I'm going to be 48 years old in December of this year. And when I was 36, I'm telling you, man, like 36, I don't know that I would want to repeat that. I did like that time period when my kids were at that age. They were all kind of they were all kind of still little. And growing up, that was a beautiful time in my life. I cherish those moments. Got some great kids, and we've had some great times, and are going to have some more beautiful times in the future. I feel like in many ways that I've had several golden hour moments in my life, and even though it's usually a transition, it's always beautiful. It really is how you frame it up and how you put it in perspective. Relationships and your life as you get older, it always changes. It's just a new chapter opening. So the next chapter in my music journey is Golden Hour. It's going to be the lead-off single of my next EP, recorded by Zach McCord out of West Virginia. We've got multiple great songs that are going to be on there, including one that's a collab with Jeremy Marshall of the band Hollerhead. So stay tuned. Make sure you give me a comment, tell me what you think, and September the 12th. make sure you check that song out. Golden Hour on all platforms.